The Inside Edge Network is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and athletes to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We're talking NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Hockey League, the NCAA. I'm a wrestling guy as well. We got WWE apparel available too. It allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. It's right there in the corner of your screen. Get your official gear. Level up with us at fanatics.com.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. This is Midnight Run. It is officially Wednesday, April 15th, and we are so glad to have you with us here on the program. We got a ton of things to get to. First off, ready to go. Got the coffee in there, I guess. I'm almost out of creamer, though, so I'm going to have to, let me see here. This might be a little bit too much. Hold up. There we go. Got that going. Go ahead and mix it up. I got to be fresh, ready to go here because we got a ton of things to get to. Happy Jackie Robinson Day. We're going to play a special clip at the very end of the show that Fox Sports put together last year. I thought it was a great job, not just honoring Jackie Robinson, but all of the important baseball figures who broke the color barrier. We'll play that for you at the end of the show. Also, today, the one part of today not to celebrate, today is tax day. So if you have not filed your taxes, you better get on that, or else you will be in a Floyd Mayweather situation. And now I understand, by the way, why he carries around cash. He owes the IRS like $10 billion. so you put that away into the bank, they're going to fine you. So, yes, you're going to carry a bunch of cash and stupid watches and stuff and all that. And he has to take on every single fight. All right, we ain't got time to waste on Floyd Mayweather. But, again, thank you for joining us here on Midnight Run. We're going to talk a little Browns later in the show. Dianna Russini, she resigned. We'll get to that. We got a ton of things to get to, but we're going to start with the Cavs, which, by the way, this Saturday, the Cleveland Cavaliers will face the Toronto Raptors on Prime Video. You may or may not see the entire game based on what happened earlier today. If you missed it, during overtime of the Miami Heat Charlotte Hornets game, and like the final minute of overtime, Prime Video, the video feed ran out, and they had technical difficulties. You saw that. I saw that during live overtime. LeBron James saw that, and he tweeted about it. So we got a special Pick Your Poison coming up a little bit later in the show. We're just going to keep that graphic too for any future references. But yeah, go streaming. Okay, so let's start with the Cavs. And yesterday we talked about Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, two of the four members of the core four, what they need to bring to the table, the expectations that those two have in terms of having to get to the next level. What do they need to do to get to the conference finals? And I said with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, those guys in the paint, they're especially important. They're huge. And they got to make things happen if they want to have a successful playoff run. Now, we turn our attention to Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. And that's where I want to start here tonight. You know the pressure on the Cavaliers. You know the pressure is there. And here's the crazy thing. I get it. The Celtics, the Denver Nuggets, San Antonio Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder. Like, those are, hey, who are the favorites to win the NBA championship? It's those teams. We all know it. We don't need like expert opinion to hear those thoughts of, those guys are the favorites. In fact, Brian Windhorst was on Jim Rome, and he could tell you himself that those are the teams that are the favorites. If you don't believe me, take a look.
In my view, and I do not mean to insult the Detroit Pistons because they've had a fabulous year, I think there are four teams that I can see winning 16 playoff games. That's Boston, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, and Denver. I say that the talent level that the Knicks and the Cavs have, it's there. And especially the Knicks are built to be successful in the playoffs, which is one of the reasons why they were successful in the playoffs last year. And I can't ignore a Detroit team that had 60 wins. But in my view, this is four teams start the playoffs. Now, somebody could sprain an ankle, somebody could sprain a knee. We could have a different conversation in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But right now, as we see this, I think there's four contenders.
So, Brian Windhorst, I'm not singling out Wendy. It's just a clip that we played, courtesy of the Jim Rome Show, Infinity Sports Radio. I think they're on Twitter as well. He's telling you right there the Cavaliers have no shot unless somebody sprains an ankle to win the NBA title. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was sold on the fact that this core four can go up against anybody. You did reference to talent because talent-wise, on any given night, our top four guys, we have better players overall. Like if you line up the top, the 10 guys that's on the floor, the core four on any given night should be ranked. All four of them should be ranked within the top 6, top 7 on the floor against any team. Any team. Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. If you're ranking the 10 guys that's on the floor, our core four has at least the top 6 or top 7 best players on the floor out of the 10. So on that basis alone, the Cavaliers should be favorites to win or compete in any game that they play in these playoffs. But that's me throwing logic out there. That's obviously all of us watching and listening to what I just said. We all know, okay, reality says otherwise. Reality is James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, they've never, James Harden has been to the NBA Finals, but he hasn't won an NBA title. Donovan Mitchell's never been beyond the second round of the playoffs. And that's the test here. In fact, James Harden saw a stat today. James Harden, out of all active players currently in the NBA, James Harden has participated in the most amount of playoff games without winning an NBA championship. I'll verify here real quick, but I believe what I saw was 90 games. that James Harden has participated in without, and that's number one. That's not even close. Yeah, here it is right here. I have it off screen. Most playoff wins without an NBA title among active players. James Harden's number one with 90 games. Russell Westbrook is number two with 64 games. That is a huge gap. Finish off the list, Jimmy Butler, Marcus Smart, Paul George. James Harden, 90 games. So we're not talking lack of playoff experience. That's the most playoff experience among active players to have never won an NBA championship. You do not make the trade for James Harden to not contend for an NBA championship. Anything short of an NBA championship, you got problems. Now, as far as on the floor, Donovan Mitchell, can his body hold up? That's been the one concern in the playoffs each and every single year. It's not his performance. Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs, he has balled out in the playoffs. The problem is the lack of help. And by the time you get to the end of the second round, his body is destroyed. It didn't help last year and the year before. You had a smaller backcourt. James Harden adds on at least with size. So at least in the backcourt, you can compete from that standpoint. You'll be good there. But we're out of excuses. There's no more excuses. In fact, Chandler Parsons, he was on Running Back. He's the co-host of Running Back on FanDuel TV. And him and Michelle Beadle had this to say about how the Cavaliers should look in these playoffs. They're out of excuses. Take a look.
Yeah, he's had a tough go at it in the playoffs, and there's other guys too, like CP3. Also, he's had some bad beats. But now, what's the excuse now, right? Because the Eastern Conference is wide open. Obviously, the Pistons are great; they're tough. Cade Cunningham made a return last night, which was great to see. The Celtics have shocked the world of their season, but the door is wide open. Like the dance floor is yours, Cleveland. Like this is now the most open it's ever been to kind of put that narrative aside, put luck or not, and kind of will this team to an NBA Finals. Like you have all the talent, you have all the depth, you have the coaching. I just won Coach of the Year last year, so like there should be no excuses at this point. You just made the best moves at the deadline. You bettered your team. Now you're going into a playoff run where you're going to have home court advantage. Like there's no excuse this year for Cleveland. Like, I don't know if they lose first or second round, do they shake it up even more? Do they kind of make different moves? But there's no real excuse out there for me, this team, because they have it all to compete. And I think they're just as talented as every team in the Eastern Conference. And there's no excuse not to come out of the Eastern Conference in my eyes.
You know what makes me nervous, guys? I'm just saying this, it's my thought, but if they were to get beat in the first round, and that we know that the NBA Coach of the Year is sometimes a kiss of death, and Kenny Atkinson was to lose his job, like that has just popped into my brain recently, and I'm like, man, that
if
can't
they
happen.
fired that man after losing first round, then they need to fire the GM. That would be ridiculous.
We've seen them do this. Like Coach of the Year can be an actual kiss of death in this lovely league.
And Kenny Atkinson won Coach of the Year last season as the Cavaliers went into the playoffs as the 1 seed last year. That was courtesy of FanDuel in their show Run It Back. And that brings up the second question, because legacy is on the line with Donovan Mitchell and James, with everyone, with this core four. Legacy is at stake. Donovan Mitchell. Legacy. The NBA wants Donovan Mitchell. Let's just be clear about this. Let's be 100% clear about this. The league wants Donovan Mitchell to be one of the faces of this league. From a marketing standpoint, and we talked about it, when the NBA returned to NBC, who was the face that showed up on the commercials, because NBC was trying to promote a new generation of basketball. Donovan Mitchell led that charge. Donovan Mitchell's engaged to Coco Jones. Like the Donovan Mitchell does extremely well with media. He's a friendly face. The NBA wants Donovan Mitchell to be one of the faces of the league. Post LeBron James, post Steph Curry. They can't do that if you can't get past the second round. You have to either at the bare minimum appear in the conference finals, more ideally in the NBA finals. Donovan Mitchell has to do it. And again, you don't bring in James. You don't run this trade at all with James Harden if you have a second round exit. There's no point. So that leads to this question, because I think it's huge. And I've tried to stay away from it. And let me be clear about it, too. We're going to have the Cavs preview show tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, I guess actually later tonight. But the Cavs preview show, 10 o'clock, myself, Eli Moon, David Ruiz, Chad Bryant. We'll have it for you, previewing the Cavs playoffs and the whole NBA playoff field right here on the Inside Edge Network. Radio voice of the Cavaliers, Tim Alcorn, will be our special guest. So tomorrow, when we do this show, hopefully we have more positive. I mean, we're going to have real conversations, but I want to approach it in a positive way, I guess. So I've kind of avoided this question in particular, but I think we got to hit on it. Kenny Atkinson, Kobe Altman. This Cavs team doesn't make the conference finals. Is this it? Is this it? And I think if you lose this first round, hell yes. Hell yes. If you lose in this first round. This first round is very fascinating too, because in my eyes, this is not a typical 4-5 matchup. You could do a pop quiz of how many people actually will remember that this Cavs-Raptors series is a 4-5 matchup. 4-5 matchups, typically neck and neck, could go all the way to Game 7. I think mother effers will be pissed if this series goes at least 6. Even if it's a gentleman's sweep in 5, if the Cavs have to break a sweat in this series, people will not be happy. I'm just laying it out. You know me. I put stuff out there before you can react to it because you know it's coming. If this is a competitive series, people will be livid. Because probably what's going to happen, what would happen would be the Raptors stealing a game here in Cleveland. But that's how much pressure is on these Cavaliers. That's how much pressure. The Raptors, as a 5 seed, have absolutely nothing to lose. The fact that they landed this matchup is a total W for the Raptors. Complete W for the Raptors. They were going to be the 6 or the 7. Look at it from Toronto's standpoint. If a game here and a game here would have went another way, they would be sweating it out in the play-in tournament that nobody can watch on Prime Video. Instead, or they would be the 6th seed facing the Knicks. And, that would have been a 3-6 matchup, a little bit different circumstances. They are the 5th seed they haven't beaten any good teams all year long. We ran the stat yesterday against playoff contending teams. The Raptors are 5-22 against against championship contenders. They're 5-22. The Raptors are playing with house money. So imagine the momentum. Imagine the momentum if the Raptors steal a game in Cleveland. Game 1 on Saturday for sure. Game 2 either on Monday or Tuesday night here in Cleveland. They go into Game 3 next weekend with all the momentum. All the momentum. And rightfully so. The Cavaliers have failed to get it done these last 4 years. It is what it is. So if you lose in the first round, all of this is done. That's it. That's it. It's done. It ain't fair. And I agree with the panel that if it shouldn't just be Atkinson. if that is the case. And then now you're going all in on Giannis this offseason. You're going all in on whatever you can do because you're an overpriced team. You're still in the second apron, and now you're an overpriced team. Second round, I heard Sam Amico talk on Sports for CLE, and I agree with Sam Amico, local Cleveland sports reporter here. Losing in the second round of the playoffs to the Detroit Pistons will almost feel like losing in the first round with this Cavs team. It will almost have the same feeling because what Dan Gilbert will not allow and will not let stand is for him to lose to the head coach that he got rid of. The head coach, J.B. Bickerstaff, who he got rid of, leading Detroit as the 1 seed past the Cavaliers. Because J.B. Bickerstaff was used as a scapegoat a couple years ago. It was J.B.'s fault. Imagine if J.B. Bickerstaff wins the set. So, yes, I hate to say it. It is doom and gloom until you win these games. All right, we got a break. But I hope, again, we're going to do this preview show tomorrow. I'm going to come in with a positive mindset. I think I have a Cavs polo ready to go and everything like that. And we're going to be excited. We're going to get excited. Good talking to my friends, my buddies about the Cavs. We're going to get excited, but I don't know. I get a little worried. Speaking of polos, you see what Chad was wearing today on primetime? I'm looking. I'm like, where does he get that from? We have merch here at the Inside Edge Network, official merch. You got to go to InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Go to InsideEdgeNetwork.com, and we have a new section on the website, Shop. And on that section, you see the official merch. We got polos. We got cups. We got hats. We got a ton of things that you can get. Rep Inside Edge Network. And what's cool about what we're doing and our entire team here at the Inside Edge Network, this is 100% completely grassroots, what we're doing. This thing did not even exist until last September. And we have hundreds and hundreds of you watching our programming, either through full episodes or through clips. I guess now approaching thousands, each and every single night. It's amazing. It's amazing. And we thank you for your support. And rep our stuff, Inside Edge Primetime, Inside Edge Network, Midnight Run, all of our programs right here. Rep us on the stream and support a small business. Again, go to InsideEdgeNetwork.com and you will see the shop section. And you'll see a lot of good stuff there, including the official Inside Edge Network polo. All right. Coming up next, do the Cleveland Browns, do they have to draft a wide receiver at number 6? You'll hear some interesting audio about what could happen if they don't draft a receiver at 6, what they could be missing out on in the draft. Back after this.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Remember, on the corner of the screen, there's our QR code. You get to see that on every one of our shows. And that QR code has a link to all of our partners at theinsideedgenetwork.com/partners. And one of those partners that you can check out is AlleyRoseFragrances.com. AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Unbelievable candles. I have the soft bloom candles in transit. The order has been put in. I'm going to try those out because I love the lemon bar candles. I love the spring flavors that it is here. It is spring season. In fact, the beauty of spring is that one day it could be 30 degrees, and in the blink of an eye, it's 75, 80 degrees every single effing day. And it is now. I have to remind myself I need to buy a new fan. But you got to get candles. You got to get these candles because here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when it gets hot, if you don't have that scent roaming around your place, your place gonna stink. Your place gonna stink. It's gonna stink. You don't want that. You still need, especially in the summer, in the spring and the summer, you still need a good smelling home. And AlleyRoseFragrances.com has that for you. And they have phenomenal body mist as well. So you get a gift for your significant other, you know, for your mom, for your sister, cousins, all that stuff. Your side piece. You get all that. It's $12.29, ladies and gentlemen. One of y'all got a side piece somewhere. All right. And it ain't just a chicken dinner. You might not be winning, but at least you're getting the chicken dinner. Anywho, BA or bad. Get some candy too. But Alley Rose Fragrances, I'm messing everything up here tonight. Alley Rose Fragrances, get some good candles, body mist. Go to that website, AlleyRoseFragrances.com, and use the promo code InsideEdge20. That promo code is for first-time customers only, InsideEdge20. And again, the beauty is, it's not like first-time customers only, like in the in the household, right? Like it's not like, one person in the household used it, so nobody else can use it. No, you use it, somebody else can use that promo code, and somebody else can use that promo code, and then boom. But again, first-time customers only, AlleyRoseFragrances.com, promo code InsideEdge20. Coming up a little bit later in the program, again, Anthony Alford here with you until 1. My producer's Eli Moon. You can watch him every night on Inside Edge Prime Time with Chad Bryant, weeknights, Monday through Thursday, and Midnight Run. I'm on most of those days after. That's a good way to put it. We don't need to go over the technicalities. I also host the Side Hustle Wrestling podcast and the main event. So, on the air, I put in 5 days worth of work. Anywho, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. Later in the show, I was going to mention Pick Your Poison Tuesday. We're bringing that back, red pill or blue pill, in relation to what Cavs fans have to make a decision on in terms of streaming. But what if you're trying to cut back? What if you have a limited budget? Got to pick one. Eli will have that for you coming up a little bit later in the program. Let's shift over to the Browns because, oh my goodness, I just realized something. We have so much stuff going on. All right, so I'm going to pull the curtain back for 2 seconds here as a network. Okay, here we go. We have the Cavs preview show tomorrow night or later tonight, 10 o'clock, April 15th. Friday, we have the WrestleMania preview show from the Side Hustle podcast. Kyle Cordell and yours truly. We're going to break down all 13 WrestleMania matches. We'll also have the Sweet Moment of the Week and Sour Moment of the Week. We'll have all that for you as we get you ready for WrestleMania. And then NBA playoffs begin Saturday with the Cavaliers. Illegal formation. TK Dangerous, Chad Bryant will have pregame and postgame coverage of the Cavs game one of the playoffs. We're going to actually have post-game coverage after every game of the Cavaliers postseason. So we got that going on. We don't have a full schedule yet of the Cavs playoffs. If I have to guess, game 2 will be either Monday or Tuesday night. Whatever night it's going to be, Eli and Chad will have post game for that. And then game 3, you'll see the schedule. And then next week, NFL draft. We have a program here on the Inside Edge Network called the Commissioner's Couch Podcast. Ryan Mosser and David Calhoun, they do a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. It comes from a fantasy football standpoint, but they are breaking down the rookie class. They're breaking down the rookie draft. No BS. No like smoke screen. This player had a bad interview. F all that. We're talking actual analysis of players projected in the first initial rounds of the draft. We just put out a clip a couple days ago from the Sunday Sports Show with the mock drafts and stuff like that. The Commissioner's Couch Podcast, they're going to anchor our live draft coverage next Thursday. My point is, there's a lot of stuff going on here in these next couple of weeks. And that includes the NFL draft. And something the Cleveland Browns should keep an eye on. Take a look at this clip. This is from Pat McAfee's show. Peter Schrager was on the show, and Peter Schrager had this to say about what could happen with the wide receiver position in the first round of the draft. Take a look.
Trace, when it comes to all the positions, which couple would you say are the deepest? It felt like the tight ends had a great day at the Combine here in Indy a month or so ago. I've heard O-line, D-line are kind of the two strongest. What is your read on it? And do you think we'll get a lot of those ones in the back half of the first round?
Yeah, I think we're going to get a wide receiver run in the first half of it. So the 6 names that I would look at, and maybe not all 6 go, but I think once one goes, they're all going to go flying off because that's a position of need. And I think with the wide receiver spot, you've got some combination of Tate, Tyson. Of course, Mekhi Lemon is beloved by scouts. Omar Cooper, the Indiana guy. And then you've got Casey Concepcion out of Texas A&M, and then Denzel Boston. Those 6 are likely first-round picks. I would say they can go as high as top 25, all 6 of them.
That's huge. Again, courtesy of ESPN, the Pat McAfee show. And look, I mean, I know it was a bit, but when Chad said on primetime yesterday, hey, have trust in Andrew Barrett, that was kind of triggering. I ain't going to lie to you. It was a bit. I get it. I think the Browns have to pick receiver at 6. I think you have to have first dibs at whichever receiver you like best, because you cannot afford. What's the one thing that, I mean, there's a ton of things the Browns are lacking, but it's clear and obvious. This team does not have an elite receiver. They don't. Now, they have guys who could become something. Harold Fannin, of course, I like him because he's from Bowling Green. But you saw what he was able to do with Shedeur Sanders this past season. You saw what he was able to do. So, again, what you need is that elite receiver. Jerry Jeudy, come on, folks. Come on, folks. Jerry Jeudy, come on, folks. Stop it. So, but, if Jerry Jeudy is not the lead receiver, maybe he's in the slot or something like that, and you have that speedster on the outside, it can make a little bit of a difference. It can make a big bit of a difference. But whatever the case may be, and I'll do more homework myself on exactly who the Browns should be targeting. But again, we have draft experts here on this network who've been doing that. So you trust in those voices. But if you want any quarterback to work here in Cleveland, whether it is Shedeur or, I hate to say it, Deshaun Watson, if you want any of these guys to work, they got to have somebody to throw the ball to. And we saw last year the difference of how Shedeur Sanders looked when like a Harold Fanta was on the field versus when he's not on the field. We saw the difference. We saw how the offense was stagnant without playmakers on the field. So that has to happen. And you got to get that crack at it, because I agree with Peter. It happens every draft too. It's all right, which team has that position of need? And then once that guy goes, everybody's picking from that position. It's crazy. It happens in every type of draft. It happens in the NFL draft. It happens in, it happens. Hell, it happens in a fantasy football draft. That happens. If you take Eli, am I wrong with that? Like, you take one person takes a receiver. Oh crap! I got to get a receiver. 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 And then all of a sudden, if you try to be that one team that skipped out on the receiver, and you look, oh crap! I should have took a receiver. Should have picked up a receiver. Because as Peter Schrager, as he mentioned, yeah, you can make a choice between the top receiver and maybe the fifth or sixth best receiver. But once that drop off happens, that's it. That's it. And I do think there is value in picking up an offensive lineman a little bit later on in the draft. I think that's more of a value type of situation. So, yeah, I think wide receiver is a must at number 6. So, knowing the Browns still pick a quarterback. No, they're not. Andrew Berry is still here because he had a phenomenal draft last year. So, who knows? Hopefully, that can continue. Who knows? All right, Eli, come on the screen. It's time for Pick Your Poison Tuesday. And this one, I don't think is as complicated as the ones we've done in the past. But there's some high stakes, though, with this particular Pick Your Poison Tuesday, especially if you're a Cleveland sports fan or you're a Cavalier fan.
Yes, Double A, and I'm glad. Thank you for setting me up so well there. This is Pick Your Poison Tuesday. We'll get some tunes here for it eventually. But this is red pill versus the blue pill. And usually it gets a little tricky. You got to, make sure you get your ducks in a row. You know where the red pill is and the blue pill. Okay, look. It's going to be a little easy for everybody at home this week. I'm going to make this easy for Double A and everybody at home. The red pill will be with this logo that is red, more red than the other logo. And the blue pill will be more blue. Okay, let's not ruin it. Double A. Red pill versus blue pill.
You actually had it set up. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Man, one day, very soon. Red pill versus blue pill, Double A. The Cavs playoff games will air on both Amazon Prime Video and Peacock. But in this situation, you can only choose one streaming service this month, Double A. The red pill is the red pill is Peacock. Because I had a little red in there for NBC. So, red pill, Peacock. The blue pill, Amazon Prime Video, because it's pretty blue there. Red pill, Peacock. Blue pill, Amazon Prime Video. You can only choose one streaming service this month. Which one are you choosing?
I know they struggled tonight. I'm picking the blue pill. I'm picking Prime Video.
Wow.
And here's why.
Okay.
They have one of my favorite shows. They just rolled it out for its final season, The Boys. We're going to find, and again, no spoilers. Don't give me any spoilers. I know it came out like last week. I haven't had time to watch it. But Homelander is one of the guys on the show. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing about, basically it's the Justice League, but they're evil. It's imagine the Justice League. Imagine if you're superheroes, when you're fighting crime, you can actually kill people, right? And you're trying to protect your image. You're trying to make it look like you're a good person. but you're killing families en route of trying to kill the bad guy and stuff. But it's a whole thing. The Boys is a phenomenal show, and they wrote out all their episodes. And the objective here, when you're picking your streaming service, you're not making a lifetime commitment.
No.
You only need a month.
Yeah, exactly. It's just for this month. Which one are you choosing? And that makes perfect sense. Now, I will say with baseball coming back into the fold, and obviously it being a lot harder to watch sports because of this conversation we're having right now on Pick Your Poison Tuesday. But Sunday Night Baseball on Peacock, you get Sunday Night Basketball. I know basketball is in the postseason now, but I like what Peacock's doing on the sports side. I like that they have a lot of different options. They were the home of the Olympics, and I get it. We're in April, but you know what? Peacock's built a lot of goodwill with the fan base for a lot of people. They were the home of the WWE pay-per-views, PLEs for a long time. I mean, they have built a lot of goodwill.
And they're going to have a Shawn Michaels documentary premiering on Saturday, I believe.
Right.
That's a good watch.
Yeah, exactly. They built a lot of goodwill, AA. So I would differ from you, and I would go with the red pill. I'd go Peacock on this one because I feel that Amazon Prime Video, they're still a little bit newer. It's not, NBC has that experience with running, and Chad mentioned that earlier on Prime Time about running, professional sports games, especially postseason games. And tonight was pretty unacceptable. Technical difficulties during an overtime game. I mean, I get it's a playing game. What happens? Okay, we're okay with it being a 9 versus 10 matchup, Charlotte versus Miami. We're not going to be okay with it if it's Boston and New York in round 2 and it's game 6 and Jalen Brunson goes up for a shot with 2 minutes left and then we don't see the end of the game and they come back and Jason Tatum and company are talking to the post-game reporter about how they won the game. It's not going to be good.
Well, the Department of Justice, the FCC, they're sending warning shots to the NFL about the streaming. And you're deferring more and more games over to streaming. And tonight, what happened here is not going to help. And it happened everywhere. Like, it wasn't just like a random viewer at home messed up the stream or something like that. It happened at commercial establishments. It happened across the board. That's that. Now, we'll say this real quick. Mm. If Love Island started their new season, my vote might have shifted over to Peacock. Love Island doesn't pick back up until June. Eli.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You need to watch Love Island when it debuts in June, the new season.
AA.
Watch it.
I'm sick of Love, AA. I'm sick of Love.
That's why you need to watch it. Like,
what? So I can see people be happy and
no,
be in love?
No, because here's what happened on that show. Everyone who was happy, everyone who became a couple, they all got eliminated.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, what? That's not a good thing. I mean, the whole point of the show was to find love.
Well, then why they get eliminated?
Because the other ones were jealous that they didn't find love.
Sounds like Lust Island.
Right, but and then if you found love too, or the problem, you need to book Jersey Chasers on your show one of these days.
We got you. I know the program director. I got you.
Before June, book Autumn or Chrissy to come on the show and explain whatever the hell happened with last season. And last season was my first year of watching Love Island, and apparently it was one of the worst seasons in that show's history because they cast a bunch of social media influencers instead of people who actually was looking for love.
Now, let me ask you this, because I know we got to go to break here in a moment. You guys have a lot of great stuff to talk about. If you're just tuning in, AA is going to talk about some really exciting stuff after this to end the show. So we have WrestleMania might make it into the cut tonight. We'll keep an eye on that.
Hold up real quick.
Yes.
Close one. Portland up 4. Portland Trailblazers just won against the Phoenix Suns. Portland is now the 7th seed in the Western Conference playoffs. Go ahead, Eli.
And that's crazy, AA, real quick. They were down 11 with, I believe, 7 minutes left. Portland.
Yes.
In Phoenix. So crazy. But I I think I almost lost. I think I may have lost it here. But basically, I guess what I'm saying with all of this, we look at. Thank you, Love Island. That's my question. Oh my goodness, how could I forget? All right, I've never seen the show. I'm gonna have to book one of the girls on the show primetime to get a breakdown. Would I survive on Love Island? Would I have success?
Oh, that's two different questions.
Okay, would I?
You can have success. I don't know if you'll survive. I don't know if you'll like it. I mean, it's fun. It's exciting. You can go on Instagram to the Love Island casting and fill out this 85 questionnaire to try to get on the show. Maybe they'll book you for next season.
Could you imagine?
Do you have a passport?
We can get one. I have enough time.
Get a passport. They'll book you on the show. Maybe.
AA. I'd be must-watch television. I already am right here on the Inside Edge Network.
The conversation. Hey, AA, we got to talk.
Yeah, I'm going to need a month off.
I got to leave the network for. I'm like, what do you mean leave the network? Yeah, I got to dip. But I mean, you gone? No, I'm coming back. I'll be back to football.
And I'm coming back with love.
Like, what the F are you talking about? Yeah, I'm going to be on Love Island, but you can't share with anybody, but I just have to leave. And you're like gone. And then the worst part, so we're all watching. Let's say you get eliminated. Like the first week of the season, you're eliminated.
Yeah.
You got to stay there.
Oh, I don't like that.
You can't come back here. You got to stay here because then they got to book you for like the reunion. They got to do this, do that. Like,
that's a lot. Am I getting paid for this? I mean, my goodness.
I don't know. That's a great question. Speaking of who's not getting paid anymore. By the way, Eli, great job with Pick Your Poison Tuesday. Speaking of somebody who is not going to get paid anymore, at least briefly, we got to get into this Dianna Russini, this situation, which is very unfortunate stuff. We'll get into it when we come back. This is Midnight Run. Oh, remember, Music Mentors 2026. There's only a few days left to do this. Go.rallyup.com/Music Mentors 2026. And for you, you're like, oh, we got to think selfishly. Okay, think selfishly for 2 seconds. Imagine winning big level prizes. Imagine winning. I'm going to go to the website myself here real quick to show you what you can win here in this raffle because it's phenomenal. All right. If you're a sports team, you're watching the show, you're a sports fan, you get a Cavalier swag bag, a Brown swag bag, a couple of tickets to Cleveland Monsters, you got family fun, you got movie nights. They also have here, you got to be 21 and older to enter. They have a for the bar basket. You get a nugget ice maker, a glass margarita dispenser. Do I see Tito's in here? Oh yeah, you got. Oh man, yeah. Go to the website. Go to the bottom of the page. You go to the website. You'll see a section called For the Bar. You can win that with this raffle. It's the 2026 Music Mentor Scholarship Program raffle. All proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, will go towards the Middle High School Music Mentors Scholarship Program. And it's for the seniors. Here locally, here in Northeast Ohio, get the website, go.rallyup.com/Music Mentors 2026. Anthony Alford here with you. We got one more segment of Midnight Run right after this.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com. Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit Dubby.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Final segment of the show. Back here with you, Anthony Alford here with you. And actually, I guess technically final segment of this program for the week. Again, we will not be on Midnight Run tomorrow. We'll not have a Midnight Run show, but we will have, again, the Cleveland Cavaliers preview show. Myself, Eli Moon, Chad Bryant, David Louise from Mike Check Take Two, Eli Chad from Inside Edge Primetime, yours truly from Midnight Run. We'll get you set and ready for the Cavaliers playoffs and also the entire NBA playoff field. Remember, voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Tim Alcorn, will join the show tomorrow. So you want to stay tuned, or I guess later today, actually, 10 o'clock, the program will start. Tim Alcorn, he'll be on at 10:45. So you do not want to miss that. We got a quick tribute to Jackie Robinson coming up at the end of the show. I want to briefly talk about Dianna Russini, who a little bit after 4 o'clock publicly tweeted for the first time in 5 days, and it was a resignation letter to the Athletic. I'm not going to read it here. We don't have the time, and but she essentially mentioned that the Athletic had her full support, and then other voices stepped in, things happened, and that was it. I will say this. I think, listen, I mean, if you're talking journalistic ethics being crossed, sure, probably, and probably she had to do this. She probably had to resign. I think a lot of the issues that she would have ran into was not necessarily from the Athletic itself. And in fact, the editor actually stood by her initially, but it's really more so of the fact that the Athletic is owned by the New York Times. So from that standpoint, she was going to run into some problems. It's not going to stop sources from sharing stuff with her. I think she is an incredible television talent. And I kind of mentioned this yesterday, but it's still true. Being an insider is probably the worst job. A national insider is probably one of the worst jobs in sports media. There's no such thing. It's all high-level competitiveness. Okay, fine. No privacy, no nothing. You can't shut off your phone. You got to be on your phone with family, and you're competing. You're competing with Shefty. You're competing with Ben Rappaport. You're competing with Jay Glazer. I mean, Diana's doing, she has to get scoops and stuff. Jay Glazer is smoking a cigar and celebrating with most of the coaches at the owners' meeting, day drinking. Again, again, I get it. If boundaries were crossed, fine. Jay Glazer is day drinking with almost every head coach in the NFL. Is that not fraternizing with your sources? I'm not calling for Jay Glazer's job. No, I'm not calling for Dianna's job. But with what we're looking for with the insiders, we're looking for inside scoop of what's going on in the league. I mean, let's be real. You want actual legitimate journalism in 2026? Most people don't even know what the word journalism means in 2026. Get the hell out of here. You want integrity with journalism. You don't even know what that means. So, again, like I said before, I think Dianna Russini, I think she's, things are going to get sorted, professionally. What has helped her is that she's an amazing television personality, and she will get work by football season. Now, the running bet is Barstool probably, but she will have a job. And I'll say this too. Come on now. You would watch this show. You would watch this. You would watch this show. Come on now. Stop it. All right. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to Midnight Run. We're going to end our show a little bit differently here. Just a tad bit differently. Today is Jackie Robinson Day across Major League Baseball, April 15th. Jackie Robinson, it's crazy as time has passed by, more and more so. It's time separated from history and with the color barrier. And hopefully one day Larry Doby will have his own day, being the first one to break the American League color barrier. But it was Jackie Robinson who did it with the, National League, Major League Baseball. And you're going to see a ton of great tributes and stuff. But as we close out today's show with Midnight Run, Fox Sports a year ago did a game. It was Major League Baseball at Rickwood Field last year. Actually, a couple years ago, they did this game. And they did a phenomenal job covering the game. And Major League Baseball did a phenomenal job acknowledging, the Negro Leagues, which now Major League Baseball referenced their history too, with the batting and pitching, all that stuff. Their history is there too. So you're going to watch this piece here real quick as we close out the show. Sterling K. Brown had this intro talking about Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and many others who refused to be defined by the color of their skin, but more so by what they did on the baseball diamond. Happy Jackie Robinson Day, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Cavs preview show.
Imagine a time when baseball was more than a game. A time when ball players were a symbol of hope and a harbinger of change.
Come round by my side and I'll sing you a song.
Lest we forget that we stand here today on the shoulders of giants.
Sing it so softly, it'll do no
Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and so many more who refuse to be defined by the color of their skin, but instead by their prowess on the diamond. These men played the game with grace and style. And boy, were they fun to watch.
Unforgettable sight.
Today, there's one place still standing that represents this era and these legends. Rickwood Field. With its green walls shining like emeralds, holding so much reverence. Legacy. History. Tonight, baseball comes home to Rickwood.